Okay, last one for today. A flower in space. In essence, ignorance is nothing more than a supposition, like something invisible that only seems to be there. Gampopa describes ignorance in his Jewel Ornament of Liberation, which is a book on italicized, as a flower in space. Imagine that you and I are sitting together, and I begin to describe for you a very beautiful flower that I'm holding, which you may or may not be able to see. I go on and on about the qualities and magnificence of this flower, but the flower is imaginary, a flower in space. You might call this daydreaming, and because you can't see any flower, you find it difficult to believe in it. In the same way, ignorance is the assumption that there is a flower in space, and when in fact there is nothing there. Similarly, the thoughts and feelings that seem so real, my ignorance, my anger, my desires, my actual existence, are like this imaginary flower, and we can be just as obsessed by them. Right. Ain't that the truth? Certainly, these emotions have a definite feeling and texture, but there is no real evidence to prove their existence. They are like flowers in space. From that perspective, we find our entire lives enslaved by invisible thoughts and emotions with no actual existence. And another lifetime goes by, accumulating even more karmic causes that bring more fruition. This cycle of suffering is never exhausted, and we're able to pull out of it. This is the essence of samsara. No, I'm sorry. I'll read that over again. I'm going to actually go back because I want to make sure this gets through. And another lifetime goes by, accumulating even more karmic causes that bring more fruition. This cycle of suffering is never exhausted, and we are unable to pull out of it. This is the essence of samsara. We must truly understand that suffering is caused by the ignorance of sentient beings who are able to see their true nature. I screwed up again. I have this trouble with able and unable. We must truly understand that suffering is caused by the ignorance of sentient beings who are unable to see their true nature. This world is definitely filled with great suffering: birth, sickness, old age, and death, as well as hatred, violence, pain, and other difficulties. But the intensity of that suffering is up to us. We are all very accustomed to making things difficult, complicated, and necessary. Grasping at such intense illusions, we allow formless thoughts to become so real that they completely overpower us in our human sensibility to just be simple human beings, honest and kind. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, and I didn't think I would get to this today, which a couple days after I told everybody I would do it. So I'm guessing that I'll get to the more fairly soon, but there's no promise there, and there's already a ton of videos now. 6, I think, 5. So comments, thoughts, whatever, via comments here, video replies, Twitter, whatever, all the channels. It's intended to spur a conversation and to get everybody to buy the book. Because you should have this book. You can't learn it just from me, I promise. You can try, maybe. And I'm sure there's other good books if other people have great books on that are along the lines that they recommend. I'd love to hear from that as well. And I'll do other books, but we're going to get through this one, and we're about maybe 5%. It's going to be a lot of videos. So that's all for now, and have a fabulous weekend, everybody.